Good afternoon, everybody. Jay's in the room next to me, so this will be interesting. He's getting feedback, I'm getting feedback. Everybody's happy. Feedback, I'm getting feedback. Everybody's happy. I accidentally left. I accidentally left the YouTube open. Well, we're the only two in here at the moment.
There's one tree people, one tree person.
Yeah.
See how my system runs now. I've closed Facebook and YouTube, so
That's better. Nobody loves you.
nah, that's all right. I'm used to it. How you going, Chris? Yeah, only been going for 2 minutes. Right, so I go back to the camera now. I don't really like the laptop one.
Oh, that microphone's still playing up, Jay.
It might have just started playing when I went to the other screen.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit better now.
Yeah. I just got to stop going to other screens and just.
Yes, Chris, we just started. It's only been going 3 minutes now.
Justin that comes in every now and then. He doesn't live far from Robbo, so
No, playing up something chronic, Jay. Hey, you come and sit there.
no.
Yeah, is that the one you did on your live the other day, on your premiere or whatever it was, Chris? Like I say, carbides have their uses. Just that I find it quicker to use traditional tools for 99% of what I do. you should have tried a spindle gouge. Spindle gouge cuts a little bit differently than a bowl gouge, and it leaves a slightly better surface on things like that. Ah, yeah, it makes it a bit hard to use one if you don't have one. It might have been the day before. I think Chris was mainly mucking around yesterday, trying to get him to be a real wood turner. Going to give me a cheek in a minute. I thought Darren would have been in by now.
Sorry?
I thought Darren would have been in by now if it was a no. Ah, I suppose I could rig one up out in the workshop. I'm working on the one in the office at the moment. Just going to have a bit of a chat more than anything else. You're muted, Joe.
I'm trying to sort out why I can't get this microphone to work.
Oh, yeah. Now, believe it or not, I've got a Samsung that I can, if I wanted to sit down and work out how to do it. But I've actually gone back to my old phone because this one, which is my granny phone, because I'm stuffed if I can use this, the Samsung. My fingers have trouble with finger thingos. Like I can't. I've lost that. Hey?
They're not touch sensitive.
No, my fingers they're not touch sensitive. Like we've got a induction stove inside, and it takes me about 10 minutes to get it going. And the phones are just about the worst. I've lost that many calls because I just can't answer it. So I go back to my old phone. I only use, in Australia, we've got in order to pay our tax and stuff like that for the business, we've actually got to go through a thing called MyGov, and it's all done off phones for identification purposes, like fingerprint and that sort of thing. So that's the only thing I ever use it for. And even then, it takes me ages to get into it. It's a regular pain, I can assure you.
Have you looked on that phone to see if you can go type your password into it? Say it rather than...
It'll probably reject my voice.
You're speaking too loud.
Plus, the other thing is, it's an awkward shape too, and it's as slippery as an eel. And I dropped it a couple of times because it just slides out of my fingers or out of my trouser pocket. So, and it doesn't fit in the receptacle in my truck. So, there's a few good reasons for not having it. It's just a pain. I'm just a technological dinosaur, that's all. Probably the reason I don't have any CNC machines in the workshop too. Getting that microphone sorted out or not?
Windows 10 doesn't make things easy.
Oh, no, naturally. Like it took me ages on the Windows 10 to work out that an app was a program. Just nice and quiet in there today.
Yeah. No, can't be helped.
No. You check what volume it is on the bar down the bottom.
What does that sound like?
Sorry?
What does that sound like?
Yeah, that's not bad. Mucho better.
Instead of using the camera one.
So is it using that microphone or is it? Yeah.
No. Well. Hello?
Yeah, it's using the mic on the camera.
On the laptop itself.
Yeah.
Oh, if it sounds better.
Yeah, it's still a bit jerky.
Hey, well. What does that do? Does that
Oh,
make
that's got a hell of a hum behind it. Yeah, no, I couldn't hear that at all, except from you talking.
Yeah, I turned the echo cancellation off just to see if it would make any difference.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not game enough to open up Facebook because it'll freak the system out too much. Did you say you were going to turn something?
Me? No.
You want to add him?
Sorry?
Can you see that someone else is joining? Can you put it back in? Can you see someone else has joined?
Oh, yeah.
I got it. I add him, you removed him.
Hi guys.
G'day. How are you, Darren?
So how long until you're going live?
We live now.
Oh, you're live now. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
We're just chatting, that's all.
Oh, fair enough.
And Jay's having trouble with his microphone and everything, so
It doesn't help.
no.
Does not help. So you,
Normal computer, what can I say?
it's a what? I couldn't understand a word of that. Anyway, so you fix their power socket for them, so they now have power for their devices. That's nice of you, Robbo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes all the difference when you're traveling. Believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had about 5% left in our battery power. Well,
Yeah.
we got to Roy's house, so it was kind of lucky.
Yeah. 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 Look, that plum I left there, you take as much of that as you want home, mate. I'll bring another branch up for the others to get cut up for the others, okay?
All right, I'll just chuck it on Henry then.
Yeah, okay, all right. I have no idea how dry it is.
Yeah.
I just picked it up from a friend's house, so they said, "You want this?" And I've gone, "Yeah, okay." Why not?
You never knock back free wood.
No, sometimes you do.
No, we'll find out in about an hour or two anyway how dry it all is.
Fair enough.
Going to be cutting up timber this Arvo.
Good. That was a bugger. That block of yellow box exploded on you. It was coming up so nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but I just know what I've got out of the other blocks of it, and that is the nicest that any of it's come up. It's just, yeah, it had some very nice figure in it. I think. So, Robbo, do you think if you had some thicker CA, it might have made a difference?
no.
No, it wasn't retrievable.
No.
Fair enough.
No, there's times when you just say, right, that's firewood.
Yep, and that's it. I would have probably given up long before you guys did, because I just, yeah, I don't want a hole in the wall of my shed.
Yeah. Now Robert's got a monitor stand, and that's right wiring line. So.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit.
Oh, look, you were producing some very good shavings off of that, though, because that's, as Robbo will testify, it's damn hard stuff to cut. So you were doing very well to get the shavings you were getting off of it. Give yourself a pat on the back for that. It's because, like, I was just amazed when I saw what Robbo was pulling off of it. But, yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference between him and us mere mortal turners.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I quite often make the magnetic pinballs out of that simply because doesn't take too long to do one in that size because they're only about 2 inches across. But I do it because you can just polish them with aluminium oxide buffing compound, and they buff up so smooth and so shiny straight off the buff. You don't need to use anything else for them to be respectable looking, unless like someone wants that super shiny thing. But that's, with something that's going to have pins hitting it all the time, you don't want something that's going to wreck a finish. So I tried a couple in 2K polyurethane, and inside 6 months, they looked decidedly shabby. So yeah, I gave one to one of my relatives my Elizabeth's relatives, who's who makes bespoke costumes and things like that, and she's constantly using it. And yeah, within 6 months, the finish looked like rubbish. So I just don't bother with it anymore. Yeah.
That's why that's why I use NC lacquers.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got to try some of that stuff you're using. Hey?
What kind of lathe did you get?
I now have a Hafco 46 WLA, so she's a bit of a beast. So yeah, I haven't spent much time in front of the new beast though. But yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. But the one I had prior to that though was actually a hand built one, built back in the very late 60s, early 70s, from what we could gather. And she'd been through a few hands, and it's now gone to another guy. I was at the point where I was looking at putting a variable speed drive on it and a bigger motor, and maybe lifting it up a couple of inches to get some more swing on it, because it was so stupidly over-engineered. Now, I'm not saying that in a bad way. That was a good thing. But, adding a couple more inches swing to it wouldn't have been an issue at all. And I was looking at doing all that. And then this other one popped up, and I thought, well, do I waste my time or grab this bargain? So I grabbed the bargain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, basically, when I got thrown in, I probably got $1,000 worth of tooling and other bits and pieces thrown in. So bits of timber and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I did pretty well. For $1,460 to get something of that size, especially when it had a brand new headstock and tailstock and brand new bowl turning attachment. The headstock alone's worth a lot more than what I paid. So I did quite well. Hey?
Does the headstock swing out?
No, it doesn't. It only slides along the bed, but that for me is actually, I think, is better. I'm not a real fan of the rotating headstocks. People love them. I can understand that, but for me, in this case, you just move it to the end of the bed when you want to go bigger, and you can work off a floor stand if you wish to, if you wanted to go really big. But no, I don't know. The way I look at it, if you've got a rotating headstock, is it always coming back and lining up dead true to the centers again? And the few that I've seen that have been the better ones, yes, they have. But I've also seen a few of the lower end ones that rotate, and it's about every time you rotate it back, you've got to make sure you line it back up on centers again properly. So yeah, honestly, if I had my choice, I'd have a big stubby sitting in the workshop, but or I'd be stealing something out of Robbo's workshop.
He'll hear the forklift start. No problem.
Oh look, I would have loved an old British machine for sure. There's no drama there. I mean, I love old British equipment. It's built so well. But why wouldn't you buy a stubby, Robbo? Just because you love what you got, or you just don't like them?
No, they are fantastically engineered, but to be quite honest, and I know we're live, but I'm going to hang it on a few manufacturers here.
Yeah.
There is not a variable speed lathe made, with the exception of one, which nobody can buy, that I do not stop.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the stubby is a well-engineered, well-thought-out machine, although the technology behind it is 100 years old. But their variable speed lets them down.
Yeah, fair enough.
And same with the Vicmark. The best variable speed lathe on the market at the moment is the Woodfast 3060.
Right.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Yep. No, look, when it comes to variable speeds, I think there's still a long way to go with them.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when people are doing the variable speed conversions and still keeping a lot of pulleys in play, I think they're in the better zone. And you can't really expect something to go from 0 to 3,000 and work well.
No, well, the problem is they lose torque through the
That's
range
right.
somewhere, and this is not meant as a rude comment, but 99% of wood turners scratch at things. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't take cuts like I do.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. And I think that's probably the difference there being that you've always had to rely on your speed.
Yeah,
To make
that's
a dollar,
right.
and the average hobbyist is not going to go that hard,
No, true.
and that's the difference there. But you know, when you look at it, if the average hobbyist tried to go as hard as you would, they'd probably have things coming out of the lathe left, right, and centre all the time.
Well,
All right, so I don't have to research it. What is a stubby other than a drink?
Right. Stubbies are the other Australian-built lathes. So we basically Mick, Mark, and Stubby. They're made by Amiga. They're pretty awesome. Their biggest one, the S1000, is a tank. It's a lot of metal sitting on the floor. I mean, it's pretty sound bit of gear. As Robbo said, it's based around 100-year-old technology. It really is. It's you can compare it to what's in Robbo's shed as far as pretty much design style wise for similar sizing, but with a few more modern upgrades like variable drives, which, as he said, they're not quite there yet. You know, but they still do put some pulleys in them, so they've got a better chance of keeping the torque range.
the best conversion that was done on the Stubby was by Vermec up in Queensland. I've used a couple of them, and they do have a bit more grunt than what the normal Stubby does. But I think Rod has changed the variable speeds that he's using now, and I think they're getting a bit better success out of them. I don't know, because he's only 20k from our place over in Seaford.
All right.
Or Carrum Downs, actually, but
Yeah, I have to drop through there sometime. It's have a look at what they do.
Oh well, they're an engineering works actually. They do the stubbies are just a sideline for them, and he actually builds them to order. He doesn't have any line around the shop.
Yeah. Well, there's not a huge call for lathes, especially at that top end, especially in the price range, of course, too. But you get what you pay for.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, we've had the discussion before on people with deep pockets, and in many places, and honestly, for what you're paying at some of this top end of the market, I'd be very tempted to go to a good engineering works and get them to make something custom, to be quite honest, for around a similar money and get exactly what you want.
The hardest part of building any lathe is actually the tailstock.
Yeah. And if you look around the scrapyard, you'll quite often find some very, very good tailstocks from if you're looking to go really big, from big metal lathes for very little money.
Well, that's what Henry's got on it, and another one that I can put onto Henry if I need to.
Yep. So people tend to forget that. You go shop around the scrap metal yards first and see what's available for your tailstock, and then build the rest of it around that.
Yeah.
I've seen some beautiful home-built lathes over the years, and I wish I had built my own when I had all the tooling to do it. But as I commented to someone the other day, I probably would have made something that was about capable of swinging 2 meters plus, and probably would have killed myself with it.
Oh, yeah.
Something so big you can't dodge out of the way when it comes flying off.
Yeah, exactly. But it is very much a case of horses for courses. I've seen some of these ones that guys are doing overseas where they're starting with a concrete block as the headstock, and then working from that, and they're monsters.
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy who was doing it, but a couple of people doing it anyway. But they're putting monster logs on them, starting with like meter across and 3 meters long, and then hollowing them out with big chainsaws. So is it still wood turning? Yeah, I suppose the block of wood's turning, sort of.
Thought the cement would crack on.
I think the way they cast them, they've probably had problems with them, but the way they do it, I'm sure they don't have a big problem with it. There's lots of different ways to make concrete, and yeah, if you're using the right stuff, you wouldn't have problems with vibration.
No, well, we had our lathes when we lived down near Sale. I had my lathe actually on a concrete bench. We boxed it all in and poured all the concrete into it and dropped any bits of metal and Rio and anything else into it. And I know the bloke that bought the house with it in the shed. It took him something like 6 months to break the block up to get it out of there. He wasn't happy.
Yeah, I've done a few cast concrete benches. We did one lot for a hothouse in a nursery I used to work in, and we actually had polypipe running all the way through it to heat it. So it was bottom heated benches to raise seedlings on.
Yeah,
and worked quite well. But everyone looked at us like we were crazy when we started doing it, and then it worked really well. It would hold the heat very evenly, which is a big secret to doing that. And it worked out the cheapest way of doing it, pretty much, which is why we did it. But we formed it up in old corrugated iron that we just found laying around the place as the base plates, and then looked a bit daggy after about 2 years once it all started rusting and falling off. But that's just the way it was.
No, I formed it all around plywood and everything like that, but I forget how many cubic meters I put into it. I think it was about 5 cubic meters of concrete.
Cool.
And well, one of the lathes out the back that, g'day Sid.
How you going, Sid?
One of the lathes out the back has got 2 ton of concrete in it.
Yep.
I just had the truck from Kennedy's up the road when they did concrete. I just had them back the truck up to it. And that's the second one they'd done for me. He said, "You love doing this, don't you?" I said, "Yep."
Yeah. Yeah, but well, I mean, we've gone over the ballasting of lathes too. A lot of people go well overboard with the wrong machines. It's fine with the sort of stuff you're doing it with. It's cast iron. It's not in multiple pieces, so it's not going to come apart. But I see some of these guys ballast up layers with swivel headstocks or sliding headstocks, and then there's a weak point in there. It's the bolt that retains it all.
Yeah.
And then the vibration gets in there, and they're trying to swing something too unbalanced. The next minute, that bolt's broken, and what have you got? You've launched it off the bed.
Yeah, no, that most people don't seem to adjust them properly. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So they lock down tight.
Yeah, that's where your maintenance video comes in really good. You actually describe very well how to adjust that to the right point.
Yeah, I'll try.
Hey, they're helpful, and that's why I put them up. I've just started a new files section.
I saw that.
And we'll be putting things like that in there.
That Word file is actually a read only. You can't add to it.
Yeah, it's been changed now. It's another file now. Yep.
Right.
You can add to it now. I don't know what happened. I used to be able to do from Word files, but so Caitlin did one that can be added to, and she's put it up in there instead.
Oh, well, good.
Been quite a few added to it now. So yeah.
And if anyone wants to learn to turn by Robbo, go watch my lives.
Yes.
Yeah, particularly the early ones.
Yeah, free lessons. Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Look, it does not worry me because the only thing I've got left now is giving back what I've been doing my whole life. So,
And the thing is, though, you will learn so much from someone like you on a stream, as an example. But the huge difference becomes when you get in there one on one. I can't say that enough to people. Until you've had that person standing beside you, reaffirming what you're doing, and then showing you the little tweaks that you're not quite there at, you're not going
Oh,
to get it properly.
no, you're dead right. Yeah, it's only half a degree sometimes, and that's all that matters.
Yep. And it does make that huge difference. And it's the difference between you pulling a really nice shaving off and pulling a just basically scraping sometimes.
Yeah,
And and it's just nice to have that bit of reaffirmation that you're doing the right thing. You're there. You're nearly there. Just now, take it that little bit further. So, and I really enjoyed it too. Anyone's got a chance to come and have lessons with Robbo, go do it. It's just a great experience.
yeah, and I don't yell as much as what I normally do.
You don't yell at all, mate. That's the big difference between the lives.
JP would be disappointed, wouldn't he? Australia to have lessons and doesn't get yelled at.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to drop out because I have to go and do some things. But enjoy your trip home, and I bet you've had an absolute ball playing in Robbo's toy shop.
Yes.
Yep. It's and it was great to meet you all on Sunday. It really was.
You're muted, Jay.
Yeah, it was great to meet you all on Sunday, and
I'm glad you had a good time.
I did very much so, and
I
hopefully we
appreciate
can
you
do it
coming
again.
down.
That's all right, mate. We'll have to do it again sometime. As I said earlier, we'll probably be heading over your way sometime later in the year. So when I do, I'll make sure there's a pile of stuff coming over for you. All right, guys, keep well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Stay safe. Bye.
All right, see you later, Darren.
Bye.
Oh, I see.
I got it to work.
I wonder why it won't work on mine. Jeez, I tell you what, that's not a bad picture from 12 feet away, is it?
No, it's good. Let me see what you're doing.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
There you go. Shop tour.
Eh?
Shop
Shop
tour.
tour.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know whether it'll work on mine or not. I've tried it a million times. Plug it into that one up there. That's a 3 US.
Oh, sorry, Skinky.
Oh, well, it's connected.
Yeah, it'll do a little bit of a setup thing for your computer and
Aye.
just give it a couple of minutes. Oh, it's even got Zoom on here. Volume, maybe.
No.
Yeah, light, look.
Yeah, brightness. Oh, fell to out my left
Now
nostril.
press your mouse for a sec.
like left in the business. Ah, yeah. That's weird, isn't it? Nah, we tried a microscope that he's got that plugs into a USB port. We tried that, and it just freaked his whole system out. So he's had to restart StreamYard, restart browser and everything.
Right, back here again now.
Computers being computers, you know. Plug something in and it has a whinge.
Oh, man. No, we had lunch about an hour or so ago, Chris. Just about due for another cup of tea, I am.
Is that a hint?
No, I'll do it in a minute.
I don't mind doing it.
No, it's all right. It's okay. In fact, I'll do it now.
I wouldn't walk out with any money if it came into that shop. I only just opened this. How far away is Devon Meadows?
Devon Meadows. About 8 Oh, really, that's a Devon Meadows.
Olive Road.
Right, yeah. Yeah, just up the road.
Oh, sorry. Everyone else in the stream out there, I was, my mum sent me a link. Not a link, rather a suggestion to go check out Crystal Park. Heartbreak High.
Sorry.
Chris is watching Australian show called Heartbreak High.
The epitome of drama.
Are you going to watch Home and Away and Neighbours after that?
And then don't forget Neighbours.
No, I just said that. That's okay. That's fine.
That's fine.
I'll mute
I mute my microphone all the time and forget that it's muted. No,
been
I've been looking at a crystal shop that's here. My mum sent me a message and said that she's seen a crystal shop that's like only a couple of k's up the road from here. We don't have that kind of thing in Adelaide. If we do it, then the shop might last maybe a couple of months, then it disappears. I don't know if I'm game enough to go there though, if I've got money. So, I used to make my own geodes and crystals and stuff like that. I haven't done it for ages. Hop, skip and jump. Now I get in trouble. As it is, I deliberately didn't mention Pop's shed because I didn't want to spend any money. Being a tight ass.
Yes, Bailey, the HSCs, the HSCs are very, very important. They gauge whether you can get into university or not. Some students even have complete nervous breakdowns when they're doing them.
Yeah. It's called SAFE now. They've changed it, but it's pretty much the same thing. And the serious students will go to year 13. So, yeah.
It's a little bit ridiculous, actually, that your whole life can be judged on 2 years of your life.
And boil down to a test that you.
Yes, there is actually. You can enrol in adult classes if you want to, and I think the universities have like an entrance exam that you can do as an adult, and you can have what's called adult education.
They have universities all open now, so you can do them all online. Pretty much all their courses that you go to university before you can do online now. So it's called Open Universities here. I would assume that would have got better when COVID kicked in, because no one could go to universities.
Like my dad went back. My dad went back to university at 55 to gain qualifications for a job within the job that he was actually doing. So he did 2 years of to get a degree in what he wanted.
Oh, just to comment on one of your comments there. No judgments. I've watched everything else. We judge everyone that watches Home and Away and Neighbours. Come on.
Sorry, Joe, I couldn't even understand that.
No. I'll put my microphone on.
Is that better? That's
Yeah.
better, isn't it?
Yeah, I can actually hear you without the microphone coming through the thing, so I can translate if you like.
Yeah. I can hear myself back from my own speakers, so I'm going through your microphone.
Yeah.
If Bailey can't hear me or Chris can't hear me, then I'm looking.
Yeah. Chris can probably hear you through my microphone, I'd reckon.
Yeah. Just be a bit quieter.
No, well, that's the whole point. Like kids trying to work out their futures at that age have got no hope. Like my granddaughter, for instance, she's 17, and she has no idea what she wants to do. Doesn't have a clue. And there's a lot like that, unfortunately. And if they get into the wrong stream, it's a lot of trouble to change over to something else. I used to have a lot to do with kids at one time, and that's probably the hardest thing they've got to go through is well, we used to call it HSC, and as Jay said, I think it's called a new name now.
Slice.
SACE. Because they've got so many options to get into the right place in university if they need to. Geez, that's a heck of a change. And is the 18-year-old settling in okay, is she? That's fantastic news. Good.
Have to go out to the end of the driveway to get phone reception.
Oh, oh yeah. You could explain to her that there is life without a phone. Yes, I know how you feel. Some people should not have children at all. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Not when she's driving my car.
What kind of job she got?
What kind of job has she got, Joe wants to know? You're doing my head in, Joe.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. I think she'll be. I think in the food industry is the or the service industry or the hospitality industry is the way to go these days. Like, seems to be more and more people eating out rather than eating at home. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? It's a lot worse in America than what it is here. But they closed all the restaurants and everything down there for 6 weeks, basically, and hotels and everything like that. Had a really detrimental effect on the economy of the businesses, that's for sure. That's the one Jay was telling me about, yeah. Cast a cane toad in the latest video, by the way. That's a good use for cane toads. Should be more of it. They're really bad in Queensland or North Queensland. They play golf with them. They get golf clubs and use them as golf balls. They're that prevalent around there.
Did you put the finished piece up on any of your socials, Chris?
Did you hear that a bit clearer?
No, not really. Yeah, don't do that. Apparently they've got poison glands or something in them that are close to the skin.
Maybe licking the one you've got.
Maybe if you lick the one you've got, it will be safe.
Well, inside the casting it would be, yeah. Bailey said he heard it okay.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting thing to cast, that's for sure.
That was their, yeah, you're getting a hum through that.
I muted it. I turned the microphone volume up. That's why.
Oh, yeah. No, they've, sorry. Got it when I was 15. What did he get when he was 15?
The cane toad.
Oh, right. So only about 5 years ago, is that right? After our discussion the other day.
He definitely doesn't. He doesn't. I think he's lying about that. Yeah, we don't believe you're nearly 50. Sorry, we need to see your birth certificate.
I don't know if you can hear Joe in the background there or not.
I think you can.
Yeah, they brought the cane toads into Australia to control a little beetle, but there was nothing to kill off the cane toad, so they've done real well. And now they're a bloody big pest, I'll tell you that.
That's an understatement.
All I know is that after a couple of days after running over them in the car, they really stink bad in the sun.
I'm going to plug the camera in.
Oh,
Hopefully it doesn't freak your system out this time. But it's just my normal camera.
oh yeah. If I go off the air, you'll know what happened, Chris. Yeah, that's all right. I'll watch it later. I'll get around to watching them all eventually. Unfortunately, they're on at the wrong time of the morning for me at the moment, until we switch back to daylight savings anyway.
Come up with anything on your computer?
No,
No?
no, you're still there.
Oh no, it's plugged into your computer, so you'd have to go to your mic and camera settings
Ah,
and see if it's come up as an option.
all right, let's see. I could disappear here for a minute, Chris.
Cam life. Life cam.
Ah. There we are. I think you're about to get a workshop tour. I'll put it up on full screen so you can see it. No, wrong one. No, unfortunately, Soren, good afternoon. He won't be here on Saturday. Soren was just asking whether you're still going to be or you're on Saturday at the demo, that's all. No, he won't be, unfortunately. You have to move the camera pretty slowly, Jay, otherwise it's just a blur. That's my playpen. Right. That lathe there, that's Reg. That's a big Wadkin. That one's Angus, it's a little brother. That's just tool cabinets and things. That lathe along the back wall there, that's Henry, the one that's 40 feet long. And then there's a little wood fast in front of it. Yeah, can't hear you, Jay. And then that lathe at the bottom of the picture, the one behind Angus, which is the grey one in the front, is another green Wadkin Burrs green. That's the baby of the three of them. And I've got another Wadkin out the back as well. And that's where I do all my lives and everything from. The sun's streaming in through the door, unfortunately. But that's all the cameras and everything set up for where I do my lives generally. He's on a short lead, actually, so... No, Chris. Oh, well, it depends on the thickness of the timber. That's the drive spurs that we use on the bigger lathes. Yeah, I can't hear you, Jay, unfortunately. Oh, there should be an extension one there. Extension USB cable. Eh? Just wait a second, folks. Hopefully it'll come back on again. Wait on. Right. Wait on. I just got to change the camera again. Now he's got about 6 feet of lead. That's a little baby Wadkin. No, I have turned 14-inch pieces without a middle support or a steady rest in it, but most of them require a steady because the flex in the timber is just so bad that it literally flicks out of the drive spur and the tailstock. And that lathe that he's showing there at the moment weighs 5 tonne. They're all patterns up on the left-hand side there. There's some of the bigger chucks that I use. Yeah, it's rather unfortunate, isn't it, Soren, that Jay won't be here. I did try to persuade him to be. There are all the overhead gantries to move the bigger pieces in and out. That one right along the back, the big steel bar there, that's for rated at about 8 or 9 tonne to lift some of the logs in that we turn. That's a horrible looking face. Okay, I'm a normal camera again.
That work all right?
Yeah. So that's my playpen, Chris. Oh, well, one of them.
Hang on, Soren. Oh, to Robbo's dismay, I do plan on coming back. Don't know when, but I'll pick a time when he's gone away somewhere, right?
I wouldn't have any workshop left if he came when I wasn't here. Yeah, this workshop's 40 feet by 25 feet.
And I might add, it's only 40 feet because it is 40 foot away. Did they get a good view of the 5 tonner?
Sorry?
to get a good view of the 5-tonner.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's getting hot. I'm going to put sports on.
I'll be back in a minute.
No worries. Yeah, well, I started in a 9 feet by 9 foot garden shed, and the headstock of the lathe, my veranda post lathe, which I could turn 10 feet on, used to sit outside the door. I could only turn veranda posts on a fine day. The door had to be cut out to close up so as I could lock the workshop up. Well, Chris, if you ever discover where the dust comes from, let me know, will you please? I have to do mine, de-dust mine. I do it every Christmas because we have our family get-togethers at our place. It's the only place big enough to house all of us. So, but I just take everything out on the forklift and then cover over the 2 lathes I can't move and literally hose the place out. But I really don't know where the dust comes from.
There you go. I'm pretty sure Julie said take these in.
Yeah. Trouble is, they'll disappear.
Send you out because of the dust.
Shouldn't you be doing that stuff in the shed anyway, Chris? Uh,
I find a smock and that generally gets rid of the dust and keeps a lot of the dust out anyway. And there's always the air line to blow myself down before I go inside.
discharging it. Hello to the other tree people. Oh, sorry, Soren. You've said something. How far away does Soren live from you? How far away does Soren live from you?
Sorry?
How far away does Soren live from here?
About 50k, 50 or 60k, I suppose. How far is it to your place, Soren, from our place? Probably 50, 60k. And are you at work at the moment?
How you going, Soren? You haven't been in much lately. What's going on, eh? Greenwood.
Yeah, about 50 or 60k. No, I thought he'd be at work as well. Watching you on his boss's time.
That's right.
That's all right. We'll let you off just this once, all right?
Well, I suppose we better go and cut up some timber, eh? All right, so we'll knock it on the head, folks. Thanks for coming in.
Later.
Laters. Have fun.